One.
Greetings! Good news! You're through with part one. Some of you thought you wouldn't be able to get through it, but you did. Pat yourselves on the back. You can feel smart. You can feel proud of yourselves. But you still got a lot to learn. But still, you're through with part one. That is so great. We're going to move into part two now, and part two is about improvement. How do we improve what we're doing? And we're going to show you how to take those wonderful 7 dimensions that I know you've memorized, you've studied on them, you understand them in depth, and how to apply those into 4 C's of climate, curriculum, community, and character, so that it'll allow you to communicate with everyone about what's really important in your schools, and you're going to find this uplifting and perhaps a bit challenging, but nevertheless uplifting. You're also going to learn how to do walkthroughs, how to gather data, because some of you are saying, I still don't like quantitative stuff, and who does? Numbers, come on, give me a break. But if you want to, you can learn how to simply take your sharp observations, put those together, and get a great deal of information. You can learn how to do all of that in this next part of the book. Before we jump into everything at one time, let's just go in order and we will approach Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is entitled The 4 C's Framework for Shared Leadership and Planning. It's quite a mouthful, but then you're going to learn quite a lot too. Now, we introduced this chapter with a vignette, and I want to share with you something, a couple things out of the vignette. There are 2 principles that we really want to share with you concerning about their approaches to education. The first one is Dr. My Way, and perhaps you know someone like this. Dr. My Way runs a tight ship. Everything is clean, it is orderly. You know when those announcements are going to occur in the morning. You know exactly when you are going to go to lunch. And by the way, you better be at lunch at that time. He walks around the school. He goes into classes. He talks to teachers. He is just committed to the school. He gets there early, but also it's my way or the highway with him. And the interesting thing about this school is that there's a lot of teacher turnover. And not only that, there's some parent dissatisfaction, but it is one well-run ship of state. You go in there, you know what to expect. Another principle is Miss S. White. Now, Miss White recognizes that everyone is different. Everyone is beautiful in this whole world. There's lots of different types of people in her school, and that makes it great. I mean, for instance, in her school, she has dopey, grumpy, bashful, happy, sneezy, sleepy, and doc. And there's probably even others in the school. Everything is just great. She is the first to arrive at school and the last to leave. She loves life. She knows that schools are complex. It's such a demanding place to be. And she knows what she needs to do. And yet, that school's struggling a little bit too. You know, this is an example, perhaps, of what extremes look like. And extremes exist in our schools. And I just want to share with you some. Have you ever worked in a school with the authoritarian leadership? Compare that to a school with shared leadership. What about a school that seeks compliance? And another school that seeks continuous improvement. One school is reactive. Whatever comes up, we got to react, we got to jump in. Another school is proactive. What do you think we need to do? What can we do to make a difference this year? We don't wait till something happens. We know what we're going to do. Spontaneous schools could be a lot of fun. A lot of classrooms. I like spontaneity in classrooms. But also, I like to have some strategic planning going on in schools so that the old saying, now that we've lost sight of our goals, we must redouble our efforts. We know where we're going in the school. Another one could be systematic versus systemic. How do we approach our efforts in school? Do we focus on one little thing, or do we think in very broad strokes? We want to combine all this stuff. We want to show you how it works in schools. We want to make sure that you understand several important things in this chapter. Number 1, how to connect those 7 dimensions into the 4 C's. You will see it in your sleep when you finish this chapter. You will understand it, and it will just be common sense. But remember, common sense isn't common anymore. We want to also share with you type 1 and type 2 errors in analyzing your data. We want to make sure you don't commit either one of those errors because, of course, you want to make the A. And we will also learn how to have courageous conversations. So perhaps learn to talk about things that may not be the most pleasant, but the conversations that get us further down the road. All right, this is going to be a great chapter for you. Thank you.